Senator John Kennedy wasn't interested in the political spin. Instead, he went straight to the witness's own testimony and began reading the record line by line. What followed completely challenged the accusations being made against her. Here's the exchange.
This issue about your feelings about sexual harassment and the recourse of people who have been harassed seems to have arisen when you were testifying as a private citizen back in 2021 before the House, as I understand it. And I've read your testimony. I've read the record. I don't see how any fair-minded person can conclude that you were trying to do anything to impede someone who's a victim of sexual harassment from being able to address the wrongs. Here's a quotation from your testimony. Quote, your words, not mine. Allegations of sexual harassment and assault should be taken seriously, and accusers afforded the full protections of the law as they seek to hold those responsible to account. Removing one form of dispute resolution, however, does not further those goals. Did I read that correctly?
That is correct.
Now, if I am a victim of sexual harassment, I have a number of options. I can file a complaint and try to resolve it privately, if it's in the workplace, with my employer and the alleged perpetrator. Can I not?
Yes, you can.
Or I could choose to mediate the dispute, could I not?
Yes, Senator.
Or I could choose to arbitrate the dispute, could I not?
Yes,
Or I could choose to go to court, could I not?
that's correct, Senator.
Now, do you oppose removing any of those options for someone who's an alleged victim?
No, Senator. Victims should have their choice of how to deal with these issues.
And as I understand your testimony, you tell me if I read it wrong, but I looked at it pretty carefully. What you were saying is that, at least as I appreciate it, that all forms of redress should be available to the alleged victim, right?
Yes, Senator.
I mean, would you elaborate on that a little more? Because I honestly, I don't get it. I mean, I get the politics, you know, the folks that Democrat and Republican and all that, but my experience, you're not a very political person, and you were asked to come testify as a lawyer and an expert in the law, so tell me what you said.
Thank you, Senator. And when I hear these criticisms, it feels very disconnected from my actual testimony. I would never try to silence a victim of sexual assault or harassment. My point in my testimony was to provide some context for how many different options for resolving these claims and addressing these claims should be available to women. And forcing them into litigation or taking away their choice of one option or another is not actually supporting the victims, and Congress should do as it sees fit to make sure that these victims still have options for resolving these terrible events.
Okay. Well, let me be sure I understand your testimony. Do you consider acts of sexual harassment to be repugnant?
Yes, of course.
And do you support the right of anyone who claims to be sexually harassed to be able to have their allegations heard in accordance with the rule of law and due process?
Yes, absolutely.
In your testimony, did you support all forms of redress? Do you think we ought to preclude somebody from going to court or not going to court, or arbitrating or not arbitrating, or mediating or not mediating?
No, I didn't take anything off the table.
Okay, I didn't think you did. I read it pretty carefully. All right, well, thank you, Judge.